Hello traders, and I just want to start with one of the better looking charts of the day. This is the US dollar CAD. Tried to get in initially a little bit too high, but it dropped down to a low support level and brought that up for about 110 points and still sitting in that. So if we end up here, this is potentially a bit of a spinning top. So unless we start to punch a little higher, maybe that's its limit, but I will just sit on that, lock in a little bit of profit and see where that one wants to go. If it does start to push higher, then I'll start to buy pullbacks. If you look at the 60-minute chart, you can see what I was doing on this one. You can see at the lows here, I initially tried to buy this support here, and it dropped down to the 20 EMA, sorry, the 200 EMA, and then pushed up, so I bought back in at that stage. On the data front, the most significant piece of data tomorrow is US core durable goods. This UK data is pretty flimsy, unless it's very dramatically different, unlikely to have much impact on the pound. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet. I've got a speaker after 30 minutes after the open. And then on Thursday we get US GDP, where we're looking for a good number. We're looking for 3.2% as opposed to 2.3. So that could see the indices push up higher if we meet that expectation or better. And of course the market likes it. It doesn't matter what the data is. It's a question of how the market reacts to it. Which is why you just need to trade what you see and stick to the charts and trust the charts. Right, moving on. Right, let's just have a close look at what's happening with this pound US dollar. We've had these nice moves to the downside, three-way move. You hear me talking about this very, very frequently because it's so important. But we just cannot get through this area here. We breached it and then fell right back. I am long this. I'm long this from 795, 700. I've got a few positions going. We are, as I speak, trying to get some momentum to the upside. So I've got a buffer of just a few points. I mean, I'm barely break even on it. But what I do like about this is, yeah, I like the three-wave pattern. I like the fact we've got all the moving averages spread and opening out. So if that can continue, this could, 20 EMA could start to come up, and this could really start the trend. However, at the moment we are stuck in a box for the bears. That's the case with the bulls. The case with the bears. Let's just look at both sides of this. There's always two sides to a trade. Case for the bears. We can't get going here. We hover, start to drift lower, and then just crack through that, and then we end up with a head and shoulders, and this is the neckline. So we could come and visit 150 if this can't hold. But in the meantime, it's the high probability is buying, not selling, on the basis that if you've got a chart that's above all moving averages, it's more likely to find buyers on the dips rather than find sellers. And this is my 60-minute chart. So this is the kind of preparation I typically do for this. You can see all the support on 156.90. Interestingly enough, when the markets were very fragile and selling yesterday, this just held up. And then today we ended up in this channel, a little squirt to the upside, and we found some sellers. But at the moment, we are finding buyers. Okay, so that's my 6-minute chart, and lastly, the weekly chart is looking like this. This is the fibs on the range. We pushed up for wave 1, we pulled back for wave 2, this is wave 3, and then here we have the potential to get a thrust, but this, I have to say, this is dodgy, which is why I'm not loading my boots up with it, but I'm just going to give it some space and just see if it can do something. Right, let's moving quickly through some of the other charts. Let's stick with the pound for now. Let's look at the pound yen. Pound yen is trying to hang on. If we can close above the 200, that's something. So we've got this support here. We're potentially closing above the 200. If we can then build on that, maybe dip tomorrow and then start to close a little higher, this could push up. I think that's largely dependent on what happens on the indices. These yen pairs tend to need a healthy bullish indice for them to pick up. Otherwise, they see repatriation of the yen because it's a carry trade, and you can see a lot of downward pressure. Euro, after this push into the fibs, we are just hanging on to support. I think what's going to happen is, I think we may dip to that 50%, and if that holds, then bounce and push up. If we keep closing lower, this could just roll over. We are high RSI, high on the indicators, but it's a good push. We may just get a wave to the downside and then get leg 2. Okay, so as far as Elliott wave fans are concerned, we've had 1, 2, 3. So if we get 4, and then 5, an impulsive wave 5. This fibs is based on 2015 ranges, the 2015 range, by the way. That's what could happen, but all the time we are this high, there is the threat it might just find sellers, particularly if the indices can't hold up. This is Geopack. I suggested you might want to short at 365. It actually penetrated 405, 403 actually, and dropped. So had you had an entry there with a stop out of trouble, you would be that much in profit with that much risk. Right, so keep an eye out for stocks like that. Let's just look at 1 or 2 others. I suggested EHIC as well. Yeah, I would let that come up. I wouldn't try shorting that down here. There's way too much short support down there. So that's just an example of what you can do with some of these stocks and other stocks that I have been watching. So Macy's got a gap fill and then drop back up. I think at my third position is probably just taken out. Yeah, I needed to keep that alive. I wanted to keep that one. All right, I've done well out of it, so I will scan for some more and see what else I can come up with. All right, thanks for listening, and bye for now.